Welcome to the Shameless Promo Podcast. I'm Quinn Ford, an introverted entrepreneur who used to shrink away from selling, and now I teach women how to sell for a living. Each week, you will find episodes that will help you grow your confidence in showing what you have to offer so that you can grow the business of your dreams. People need to hear what you have to say. You have to promote yourself shamelessly. Let's get into it. In my career as a coach, I have worked mainly with people who are just getting started with their online service business. And one of the things that I see the most and probably causes the most suffering, pain, prolongs your growth the longest is rushing to results, being super results oriented, feeling like your effort should be quickly replaced with money. That all just isn't realistic. And so I don't want to crush your dreams here, but let's talk about it. When I started my business, I ended up resenting it super quickly. Let me tell you why. I started selling, I think it was like May a few years ago. And I launched this program. Nobody wanted it. Funny enough, it became my signature program later on, but nobody wanted it at that time. So, because I like to get into action, I talked to potential clients. I figured out what they did want, and I did that. And it worked. They gave me money, little bits of money, but they gave me money. I had clients, I was working, right? And I ended up resenting my business rather quickly because I was rushing into getting results in my business. And I wasn't thinking too hard on what I wanted, on what felt good, on who I wanted to work with, on doing my own like work mentally and emotionally. And I was just rushing to have a business that made lots of money and did what I thought I was supposed to do based on what I saw on Instagram, right? And in that rush, I started to rush past all of the beautiful things that I now really mourn being further into my business and not being in the beginning anymore. Like I really mourn some of those beginning stages that I rushed by because I no longer have as much time and space to just dream the way that I used to dream, where everything was a blank slate and I had nothing to lose. And I was scrappy and just like hungry. And I miss the creativity, like at that level that my brain had then, that was unencumbered by any pieces of reality. I just wanted it all and I had it all in front of me. And I think sometimes I mourn not feeling like that anymore. I think I mourn just the days that I had so open to think about my business and create, and the times I could just meet my friends at the coffee shop in the middle of the day. I didn't have any calls on my schedule. I just got to like have fun and create content and just, those were the days. But while I was in those days, I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just trying to rush to my results, the results that I wanted, the clients, the money, the notoriety, the followers, whatever it was, right? I was trying to rush to those so much that I wasn't enjoying the place that I was in while I was in it. And now I'm looking back and mourning those things. So I just want to encourage you when you're getting started to know that there are so many different stages of business, and the stage that you're in right now is where you're supposed to be, and to really explore and live in the moment of that instead of rushing ahead, because in reality, business is a long game. I say this probably every single episode. Business is a long game. And so you trying to rush to the next thing without having the foundation set in the space that you're in right now is going to be at the detriment of you later. Like, it's going to feel like it's incomplete when you get to the next stage. Like, you'll not only have the, expectation, like what to expect about like being in a new stage of things where you're like not quite sure and a little scared sighted or whatever. It's going to be very overwhelming because you're not ready for it yet, because you rushed into it. And there's going to be moments where you realize like, oh shoot, I'm building this business that is a beast right now. I don't feel in control of it. It feels like it's running me, and my schedule's all over the place. I'm not enjoying anything. I hate my clients, like all of those things, right? I need to pivot. I need to like quit sometimes, is what that will lead you to. And it's because you're rushing the process. You're focusing way too much on the results and you're missing the process. And when you're rushing into results, like, you're really living in your own head. And what's so dangerous about that is when you're in your own head and building your business for you, you are missing the opportunity to get to know the amazing people out there that you're trying to serve and what they want and what they're thinking. When you're in your own head, because you're worried about your results and getting there faster, you are not thinking about your audience or your clients or your prospective clients. And those are the people who you need to be in their heads in order to create for them and sell to them. How are you going to create content? How are you going to create a signature offer? How are you going to get through a sales call? How are you going to deliver a phenomenal container when you're not even thinking about the people that you serve? You're botching your sales process because you're too wrapped up in your own head. You're not thinking about your ideal clients at all. And to me, that's the most important thing. That's even my Instagram bio. I help you know your ideal clients so deeply that it's impossible for them not to buy. I want you to get to that point where you're so in their heads, every piece of content you create, they're like, oh my God, that's me. That's the reaction that I want your ideal clients and your audience to have when they see your content. When they see your offer, I want them to be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I've been searching for. Because I want you to be out of your head and into their head. And when you're rushing to get results in your business, when you're rushing the process, when you're shaming yourself about not being further along, you are missing the pocket. You are not dropping into that pocket, the pocket that you're supposed to be filling during this portion of your business, because you're rushing to move up vertically, or you're rushing to get past something horizontally, and you're not sinking in. There's so much depth to each skill that you're learning. There's so much depth to knowing your ideal clients. There's so much depth to you creating simple systems for yourself. There's so much depth to your own healing. And when you are rushing past all of that, trying to get the, lauded milestones of your first client, 5K month, 10K month, 6 figures, whatever it is, when you're rushing to get there, that thing that you are like rushing towards isn't going to actually make you feel what you think it's going to. It's not going to do for you what you think it's going to. All it's going to do is check off the box. So while you're in this place, wherever you are, whether you don't have a client yet, or you've been working with your first clients, but you can't figure out how to get them consistently, or you've grown a business, maybe it's a private practice, maybe you're a therapist, or maybe you've grown a course business or whatever, and you're trying to get into coaching, whatever it is, know that you're starting over in a way, and you have to go through the process again. You're going to be able to go through it with the knowledge that you already have, but you're going to have to go through it all over again. You're going to have to learn all of those skills as it relates to this business. And in my mind, if you don't have time to create content consistently, if you don't have time to do market research calls, if you don't have time to talk to your ideal clients in DMs, how the hell do you have time to serve them? How the hell do you have time to coach them? That's what goes on in my mind when I hear these things, right? If you're creating the time and the space for clients, if that's what you're working on in your thought work, where are you reducing yourself to not having time in other areas that go to serving your clients? I want you to really think about that, because that's being mirrored in you not getting clients. Because if you don't have the time for those things, you must not have the time for your clients, right? So really sink into that and open that up for yourself. Your thoughts create your results. We hear this so many times. If you listen to anything from the Life Coach School, Brooke Castillo, the model, and how thoughts create your results. So if your results, the results that you want, are created by your thoughts, and your thoughts are rush, 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 you're not doing enough. That girl puts out 3 pieces of content a day. What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. Why would anyone want to work with you? You don't have an experience, whatever you're thinking, right? That's what's creating your results. So you're spinning yourself out. You're rushing yourself to these results, but not in the right way. You are trying to action your way there by doing what you see other people doing. No wonder you're not creating the results that you want. No wonder you're delaying your growth. No wonder you're delaying your progress. No wonder you are learning lessons the hardest way, right? So slow it down for a second. What should you be focusing on instead? Let's talk about that. Serving. Number one, serving is selling, and selling is serving. Like they're all the same thing, right? Service is what you should aim for, because you don't just want to get clients. You don't just want to make your first dollars. You want to build a business that stands the test of time, right? And you get to do whatever you want with it. And you can only do that if your relationship with your clients is good. And if you were just rushing to results, and then maybe you get some wins, maybe you get some clients in, and maybe you have a bigger lunch, and you're just worried about doing it again, or you're worried about the next milestone, and you're not worried about deeply serving your audience or the clients that you have, what is it even for anyway? So focus on serving. Another thing to focus on is learning all you can about your audience, because your business is not for you. It's for them. It's for the people who consume your content. It's for the people who pay you to be in your containers. So learn all you can about your audience, know them so deeply, create content very specific to them, create signature programs very specific to what they want as an end result, and you will sell. Your results will come. I promise you. Focus on the right things. Serving, learning your audience. Another thing to focus on is your own healing and mindset work. Work on your thoughts, because your thoughts create your results, right? A lot of your thoughts are coming from deep-rooted beliefs that you need to heal. They're coming from traumatic experiences when you were little. They're coming from places that you have not explored yet. They're coming from you trying to deal with everything on your own, or hustling out of trauma, or whatever it is. Those things need to be healed. They need to be addressed. They need to be dealt with, so that you can have the results that you want. And not only so that you can create those results, but so you can actually feel them when they come in, so that you can actually receive them and accept them, so that you can actually enjoy them and celebrate them. Okay. I cannot say enough how important it is to do your healing work, to work on your thoughts, because that is what directly leads to your results. So clean those up so that you can actually get the results that you want. And you can actually work backwards. If you're thinking about the results that you want, you can actually work backwards in terms of like, okay, I really want my first 3 clients, or I really want to get 8 clients in this group, or I really want to post 5 days a week, or whatever it is, right? Work backwards. If that is my results, What does my thought process need to be? What do I need to be feeling? What do I need to be healing? What's coming up when I'm thinking about those things that I know is going to be the reason that I don't get that result? Clean that up. And then the other thing you can be focusing on is testing your frameworks, testing your theories, testing your processes, really getting good at articulating your value, really getting good at how to deliver pieces of information, getting really, really good at saying things in a concise way that makes the biggest impact, packs the biggest punch, right? What's going to make your free content so freaking helpful? Think about those things. Because as you're focusing there, as you're focusing on creating value, as you're focused on like building up that value bank and that trust bank with your audience, they're going to start to like what you're putting down. They're going to start loving it. They're going to start finding it super helpful, and they're going to start booking calls, or they're going to start sending DM inquiries about working with you. You don't have to actively be like focusing on very result-oriented things in order for results to come. So I think I'm going to leave you with that because I think I've said all I wanted to say on this. Like, I really want you to just get out of your own head and into the heads of your audience and your ideal clients and all the perspectives out there that are watching you. Because if you live inside your own head and you create only for yourself and you do not listen to your audience, or you do not even talk to them or start those conversations, you're creating something that seems like perfection inside of your head. And why? Why? If you're not going to release it, if you're not going to have people actually be impacted by it, what is the point? All right, I'm going to end it there. I will see y'all next week. And there you have it. Thanks for rocking with me this week, but the party doesn't have to end. Come hang out with me and continue the conversation over on Instagram at Shameless Promo Coach. If you enjoyed this episode and feel so led, go ahead and rate and review Shameless Promo if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, and make sure that you're subscribed, or follow my podcast over on Spotify. I'll see you next week, same time, same place, with another episode. XOXO, Shameless Promo.